Today we're doing a quick unboxing of the Wuelf slide. That's W-U with an umlaut E-L-F. Here you can see it's a little loose in the box. It's a big hunk of metal. I really don't think that's too much of an issue, with the exception of there are these two small screws that were also loose in there, and you'll see them in the clip coming up ahead. And I think those actually ended up marring up some of the finish on the slide. If you're really particular about your slides, maybe you care about that. I think that they're in areas where there would be holsterware anyway, so it's not a big issue. The other thing I think might have happened in shipping is the front sight post is canted to one side. And the reason I say that might have happened in shipping is because you can clearly see some scribe marks there where they were trying to get the exact angle for installation. Maybe I'm making an assumption there, but I think that's what those scribe marks would be there for. These two back screws here for the RMR plate appear to be snug in there. I didn't really try to push the issue of taking them out, especially because I don't currently have an optic that I would run on it. I'll take it to the range maybe, and then if they become loose after a few rounds, I'll just take the plate off, and I'll make a note to put some Loctite and retighten those down. Here you can have a better look at the scribe mark and the canted front sight post. Again, not really a big deal to me. I would probably end up removing these poly sights anyway and putting my own tritium sights on there, as I do with my normal carry pistol. Here you can see one of the things that I did have a little bit of a concern about, and that is this weep hole next to the plunger hole. It looks like there's a bit of metal that was chipped out or not cut properly. Who knows if the tool maybe snagged on it or maybe just chipped it out. I have no idea. Aside from that, the rest of the slide seems to be tooled extremely well. Although you can see the tool marks here, the only reason you can truly see them is because I'm trying very hard to put the light on there, and I also, in post-processing of this video, increased the brightness and contrast and applied a LUT to this video file. And again, here you can see me trying to get a better angle, so you can see that little weird chip there. It's not an exact perfect circular opening. I do like the front and rear serrations and the RMR cut. I made mention of these issues, if you want to call them that, to the manufacturer. They responded to me within 24 hours. They said that was unacceptable to them to send it back. I'm debating just telling them that it's a non-issue for me. Again, those areas are probably areas where I would get holsterware anyway, and the finish wouldn't be perfect if I do decide to make this my carry gun. The important parts, though, as you can see, the opening, the ejection here, the place where the barrel's going to meet up, the breech face, and the extractor areas, all of that was milled extremely well so far as I can tell. I didn't take any calipers or tools out to measure the exact numbers. Here you can see some of the areas that I was mentioning earlier where it appears the screws might have marked up the finish. It's really minor. It's not a big deal. Here you can see that it was properly recessed there for the front sight post screw. The area where the rails are going to fit in, those channels look very nice. Everything looks good there from the inside and from the outside. And another view of that little chipped area. Again, probably not an issue at all. Here you can see the firing pin channel ramp. Here's a better view of the firing pin channel, the backplate recess. I don't know if all these terms are correct. I'm not a Glock armorer. I'm not a gunsmith. Any Glock armorers out there that are annoyed by my lack of technical expertise, you can go ahead and correct in the comments. I chose to put this on my stock Glock receiver, just because that way you can get a better idea of how well the fit and finish should look on something that's made correctly. Whereas if I put this on something like a Polymer 80, that is open to human error in my manufacturing process. Now here you can see the extractor area. It looks really, really well done. Precise cuts, no problems there. I'm making an assumption that I'll have no problems there. Here I've put some components inside of the slide: combat armory barrel, guide rod spring assembly, plunger, firing pin assembly, and back plate. I just wanted to see how this stuff would fit in, if it was going to be tight, if it needed any sort of hand tooling, and it did not. It just fit in there perfectly. There you can see how it marries up to the frame. As far as gauging it by eye, it looks perfect. There's the other side. You can see how the barrel fits in there really well. Extractor and all that is in there. None of that felt rough to put in. There you can see the barrel protruding and the guide rod protruding as they should be. And I'd like to reiterate again, the manufacturer did say that this was unacceptable, or an unacceptable condition for me to have received this, and that I should just return it so that they can inspect it. Here you can see the barrel and how it's mating with the slide. Looks good to me. Again, none of this is really indicative of function until you go out and shoot. Here's the back plate. And that does it for this unboxing.